Hello and welcome back. I'm Berwick Mahdi, Davenport, author of Mind Blowing Intercourse, and I am so excited, really, about having these conversations with you because this is something I've never done before in my coaching practice. I've mainly been, I get my business by word of mouth. I haven't never advertised because people have been generous enough to talk about the impact that I've had on their lives or my teachings have had on their lives. And so I've never really advertised. So this is sort of strange to me. I'm learning how to sell my product because I want to reach more people, not for the money. I want to reach more people because I believe that what I have to share with them could completely transform their lives, can bring them from out of pain into a life of pleasure. And I know, here's the truth. I know we all want to be in pleasure, but we all are in denial, about it. So I just want to have take a few moments to speak with you a little bit about some of the things that I feel like are pressing in my coaching practice that I've come into contact with, working with women and also working with men. And here's the thing: most people wear a mask. The average person that you meet is not being who they actually are. And so in the book, I talk about the reality. Now that's not only pressing news. That's not like Eureka. Oh, we didn't know that. Of course you knew that. Of course you know it because you know that you, for the most part, struggle with being authentic. And I think we struggle with being authentic simply because we don't know or we haven't quite woke up to the reality of how powerful authenticity really is. If we got what authenticity really is, we would understand why it's so important for us to be authentic. Listen, being authentic gives you an edge. It gives you the edge that you were born with originally. Think about this for a second. Out of billions of people in the world, see if you can conceptualize this. There is none other like you. Think about that for a minute. Out of billions of people, there is none other like you. So now, when you are inauthentic, that edge that you have over billions of people, you give up. You give up that edge because you think in your ego that your authentic self is not good enough. There's something wrong with it. So you've identified that there's some things that you need to change about your authentic self. And so you've been trying to change it. And you've said to yourself that when you get enough of this, let's say you get enough money, now you're going to be your authentic self. When you finish your degree, now you're going to be your authentic self. When you finally get that promotion, then you're going to be your authentic self. When you finally get married and have kids, then you're going to be your authentic self. And the day has not come yet because you have the when I syndrome. When I get this and when I do this, then I'm going to do this and that. And it's all BS. It's all bullshit. The reality is you're capable of being your authentic self right now. And the truth is, no one knows what your authentic self looks like but you. So you can't really say that people are stopping you from being authentic. You have to say that you are not demonstrating the courage it takes to be authentic. This book will help you get in touch with that courage, will help you understand why it's so important for you to be authentic and why and what authenticity really is. I was doing a training in New York City one day and I started talking about authenticity, and there was some, graduate students in the class in my course, and they said to me, to be honest with you, my day, we really don't know what being authentic is because it's overused. The concept is talked about all the time, and people really don't get what being authentic means. Some people think it's keeping it real, and then you find out that what's real for them is not authentic. So here's what authenticity is. I define authenticity as the spontaneous, unpredictable way of expressing yourself when you do not think about how to express yourself. In other words, when you give up on trying to be what you think you should be or supposed to be, and you be who you originally are, you express yourself without all of the editing, unpredictable and spontaneous. Listen, there's power in spontaneity. No one can predict what you're going to do when you are spontaneous. And spontaneity brings to life all of the pleasure, natural pleasure, dormant in yourself. The moment you take the shackles off, you take the cuffs off, you take the straitjacket off, and you allow yourself to express yourself, you demonstrate a trust of self that yourself has been dying from you. For you to trust it enough to say what's really on your mind, to really express what's in your heart, and that makes you authentic. And there is nothing like an authentic person. When an authentic person speaks in the room, something happens, something electric happens, something profound happens, something charismatic happens when an authentic person speaks. And I want you to reconnect with your authenticity, because in authenticity is where I consider the house of pleasure to live. Yes, the house of pleasure. Authenticity is what the house of pleasure is built on. And so when you get back inside the house, which is one of the requirements, getting back inside the house of pleasure, where your passion, your power, your purpose, and your protection is, along with your prosperity, is all inside the house of pleasure. But you have to get back in the house. Think about the Garden of Eden, right? The Garden of Eden is a perfect example. Adam and Eve, according to the story, were created and placed in paradise. The Garden of Eden was a place of pleasure. That was our original state of being, pleasure. And then they did a few things that went wrong. In other words, they started creating problems where there were no problems, and they were put out. And they were not allowed to get back in until they get back to their original self. And so authenticity is like the gateway back into the house of pleasure, back into the garden of paradise. And in it is where you find all of your strength, all of your power, all of your prosperity, all of your protection. But you have to stop believing the world, how the world teaches you about pleasure, because they've given you the wrong idea about pleasure. Pleasure is divine. It is so spiritual and powerful that once you connect to it, you will understand exactly what I mean. So I want to help you get back into paradise where you belong. Don't you deserve to be in paradise while you live? Don't you deserve to, not have to suffer anymore? You've suffered enough. You've sacrificed enough. When does it all come to an end? When do you get a chance to enjoy your life? When do you get a chance to be the one that's waited on, the one that's served, the one that is demonstrated appreciation to? When is it your turn? Now it is. After reading this book, you will find all that you've been looking for, because you will be able to penetrate those parts of yourself that have not been penetrated in years. Women, stop waiting for a man to touch you in this spot. It's time you touch yourself. Now listen, I'm talking about it in your soul, but I know where your mind went. I love this. I love the language in the book. I love what the book does to you, because it is going to touch your emotions. It's not an intellectual book, so you don't have to be afraid of no deep words. It goes straight to the common core of what makes us human beings and what causes us to move. Research shows that, intellectually, we don't do shit, really, intellectually. We don't make any decisions based upon intellectual facts. We make most of our decisions based upon emotion. And this book touches your emotions in ways to get you to understand that there's more to your life than this. I know you've said it to yourself. There has to be more to my life than this. Well, damn it, there is. Now, all you got to do is demonstrate the courage. Have some balls, some balls, to step up to the mic and transform your life into what you want it to be. My name is Berwick Mahdi, author of Mind-Blowing Intercourse, and I can't wait to blow your mind so you can get back to your heart. Peace.